Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you, SuperAI, for having me. I am super excited today to talk to you about the latest and greatest in data labeling and LLM fine-tuning. My name is Chris. I'm the head of global sales at Sapien, and our mission is to redefine the data labeling process and improve the current data labeling ecosystem. So, really quickly about myself, I've been in the computer vision space for about 7 years now, helping customers build computer vision, NLP, OCR, and more recently, large language models. And after speaking with more than 1,000 customers, what I realized with it all comes down to data, data, data. How well your data set is prepared is ultimately going to affect how well your models perform. So, why did I leave such a blooming industry and join Sapien? Since the ChatGPT launch a little bit less than 2 years ago, there's been a tremendous explosion in demand for enterprises adopting LLM into their business processes. Traditional data labeling projects, such as drawing bounding boxes around cars, humans, drawing polygons around animals, for example, they're going away. They're being replaced by a lot of automation tools out there. The market went from let's make machines better than human to let's make machines more like human. So this concept of the human-in-the-loop training, which slowly went away, all of a sudden came back. There's a tremendous demand for domain expertise and customized tooling to label all kinds of data sets. Instead of just images and videos, we went from tabular data, PDFs, documents, schemas for your interior designs, blueprints for buildings, 3D imaging, and so on and so forth. So there needs to be tooling. There's no one-size-fits-all tooling out there that can accomplish this. So when the founders at Sapien reached out to me and said, hey, there may be a better way to do this, and we can also potentially solve for the current data labeling ecosystem, which has become a race-to-the-bottom pricing battle, I was very intrigued. So to summarize the current issues with onboarding a labeling project and training a model, right? It typically takes about 30 days to onboard a project because it includes reviewing taxonomy, understanding the instruction sets, hiring a team of domain experts that understands the data that you're labeling. And secondarily, it's really hard to hire ops. Say you need an Italian speaker with a finance background, you need a Spanish speaker that can label medical images, right? Imagine the operational hurdle you need to overcome to hire this person, train this person, figure out how to pay this person, and in some cases have to work with local government on labor laws, and then finally training and scaling, right? There's usually a language barrier there. Tertiary to that, there is no one-size-fits-all tool out there. If anybody tells you that, hey, they have the solution for any type of LLM fine-tuning, they're lying to you. And if anybody tells you that they're an LLM fine-tuning expert, they're also lying to you as well. And finally, let's face it. We've all heard about sweatshops in developing countries, having labelers work 8 hours a day just drawing boxes, and they're doing work in very suboptimal environments. I've been in the data labeling space for about 6.5, 7 years now. When I first started, there was about 20 or so countries, and now there's about 600. And the reason for that is it's become a very easy labor arbitrage business model, where companies go to these developing countries and say, we'll hire a team for $3 an hour, and we'll turn around and charge large enterprises $6 to $7 an hour. And so what that really means is we're sacrificing on attackers' quality of life, right? And we're sacrificing is the labeling quality, right? So you cannot imagine labelers drawing boxes for 8 hours a day, producing very high-quality work. So what is Sapien's solution? There's always two product features with any labeling projects. There's the tooling side of things, and there's the services side of things. At Sapien, we're able to build an MVP labeling module in just 2 weeks, utilizing tools like GPT, automatic document parsing software for more efficient labeling. I'll give some actual use cases a little bit later on in the presentation. The second part is services. Access to domain experts, like I mentioned, right? There's been a tremendous demand for domain expertise, right? People are building models that require inputs from different demographics. At Sapien, we currently have access to labelers in 73+ countries. We officially crossed the 150K mark of labelers in circulation, with 200 of those labelers working full-time for Sapien. Those people include doctors, lawyers, people with CFAs, and they act as labeling managers, labeling team leads, to evaluate a project and hire locally. And so, to summarize, we aim to create an Uber for data labeling, whether if you have a small project that you need traditional data labeling tools, and we can connect you really, really quickly with labelers with relatively low skill, so customers can log onto our platform, upload data, get a quote pretty much instantly, and get labeled results within a day. If you have a more complex tool, it'll be equivalent to an Uber Black, where we can customize the labeling solution for you, hire a team from our global network, and be able to custom build a solution for you. I talked a little bit about the labeling ecosystem and what that means. Labeling sucks, right? I cannot imagine someone going to work every single day in a factory-type setting, drawing boxes for 8 hours a day with minimum or lower pay. There are companies, a lot of our competitors have large factories set up in countries like India, Bangladesh, Pakistan, and other countries in Asia, with 3,000 to 5,000 labelers just working daily. And it sucks, right? Because there's no upward mobility here, and what it results in is lower tag morale, low tagger quality of life, and low quality output. I've personally done some labeling work before myself in the beginning stages of the computer vision space, just trying to churn out models, and even I cannot concentrate after an hours of work. With Sapien's Web3 technology, this can change. We aim to build a new category of AI gig work with a roadmap to 100 million Sapiens. And with the train-to-earn models, Tagger can work whenever, wherever, and we're backed by some of the most experienced players out there. And with that being said, I am super, super excited to announce that the first version of the gamified labeling process has been launched as of a couple days ago. I encourage you to scan the QR code and start playing around a little bit. There are two use cases which our customers are paying for that we currently deployed. One is an LLM output review, which is a prompt generated by a large language model, and we're asked to give it feedback, like, is this response good? What emotion is this prompt trying to convey? Or giving you two prompts, which option do you think is the better description? The second use case is a company trying to build a fashion detection model. So you'll get some random pictures of people partying, people on the street, and you'll be asked questions like, where is the blouse in the picture? What color is the pants? Where is the accessories? Projects like these, right? It makes sense to gamify. It makes sense to allow people all around the world with a phone, with internet connection, to try out. Finally, before I end, I'd love to just talk to you about some of the real use cases that we've been working with some of the Fortune 500 companies. The number one use case, we have a lot of clients in the banking, insurtech, and AI companies that's servicing the financial industry. These banks and insurance companies are going through a digital transformation where they want to get information from PDFs, from invoices, from statements, and so on and so forth. And traditionally, how labeling is done here is Tagger is looking at a PDF, parsing out the data one by one. A traditional invoice could take 3 to 5 minutes just to parse out the data. We have some pilot labelers on our team try it out, and they're experiencing some eye irritations just after 2 hours of work. So what Sapien built is we leverage automation software to automatically parse out data from these PDFs. We can already get 80 to 5% of the data out from the PDFs, so the tagger can just focus on quality checks and the missing info. This effectively saves about 70 to 80% of tag time, and the cost savings here get passed on to our customers. And that's how we're able to pay our labelers 50% more, typically, on our competitors, whilst not sacrificing on quality. The next use case, one of our customers is the largest ed tech company in the world. They're building a GPT in science, in math, biology, physics, and chemistry. And what they aim to do is to pretty much replace the after-school tutoring program. And what this GPT aims to do is not only just give the right answer when a student inputs a question, but also gives you a detailed response, step-by-step guide on to solve this problem, and also get key concepts that you need to be aware of for future tests. So what Sapien did was, in addition to having to hire people with certified science background to do the labeling, we also need to build a UI that allows these math teachers and biology teachers to just focus on labeling and not worry about coding output, not worrying about formatting. There's very, very stringent rules around how customer wants their data. In this use case, for example, in the answer response column, there can't be any words or any type of language. In the detailed explanation of the problem, there can't be any numbers in there. So there's very, very nuanced and niche rules with each different types of GPT model. That's why we have to build a customized UI for this. The second biggest use case that we've seen is retail, e-tail, anybody who's selling online, right? You've all used chatbots before. They suck, right? You ask a question, you often get 5 or 6 different options, and then at the end of the day, you're really connecting to a customer service rep. So we've been asked by these companies to, hey, can you make our chatbot perform like our top 10% customer service and sales reps, right? And for certain companies, right, that take pride in their culture and style of where their salespeople communicate their product to customers, can we build a large language model that acts like that, right? Some brands sell with pride. Some brands don't use much advertising, but they have a certain way they want to describe their products. So what we do is we take that data, we learn about the taxonomy, which means we learn about what the customers are looking for in terms of output. We train our labelers to understand that as well. We can even hire teams that has worked for the company before, even within the organization that we help, to help build out this model. There are tons and tons of more use cases that we've done. I personally already onboarded a little bit more than 100 different projects. Please come to me at Booth 13 to talk to me about potentially getting on a free pilot. We are giving out free labeling credits to enterprises all around the world. Thank you so much for your time.